we're going to try this again because we went live and now we're not live and now we're live again. So welcome to the Torchfork Tuesday. You can find out more about the Torchfork mob at torchforkmob.com. I am your host, Slave to Machine, and we just got done watching Caitlin not only get lost in the water temple in Ocarina of Time 3DS, but she also tried to kill herself just now. You all missed it. I'm very sorry. Caitlin, what the hell did you do?
I spilled coffee all over my laptop that had rum in it, and we talked about not spilling alcoholic beverages on our electronics. Did I listen? No.
Oh, we did talk about that last time. Didn't I just get done saying that?
Yeah, your phone broke because you did it.
No, my phone got better. I spilled a full double of whiskey on my old Samsung Galaxy, and the battery life, I swear to God, got better. So the whiskey made a man out of my phone, and then I had to smash the phone. Because, you know, you do what you do. But that being said, like I said, Caitlin was just in the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3DS Water Temple, the adult one. Not that kind of adult. The after she got the Master Sword, and she was getting everybody telling her what to do, and she was still lost.
It was totally adult. I totally did it shirtless. You know, you missed it.
You know, we can't broadcast those streams until after 11 p.m. Actually, technically, we can't do that anyway. But anyway, and so also on the call tonight is behind the snazzy, or in front of the snazzy green screen with the fancy stuff, we have our own resident Viking. He is in charge of the game show on Thursdays. Eli, hi.
Hello, sir.
There you go. And you are drinking what?
I am drinking a drink that I came up with in the moment as I was trying to prepare my booze for this show. I call it the Jackrabbit Mai Tai.
The Jackrabbit. What is the Jackrabbit Mai Tai?
Jackrabbit Mai Tai is a Mai Tai made the proper way, and with some peach schnapps and Jack Daniels added in. I don't know why I couldn't think of the names right then, but they came to me after a second.
It happens after all, and I'm being the lazy one just drinking straight vodka. So, hey, you know, sometimes you gotta do simple things. In case you haven't noticed, we're missing a couple of people tonight. We sent out the search party. They may come back. They may not. It is what it is.
I see Stylo chroma keyed me here.
He did, as a matter of fact.
I was getting... Well, now it's back to normal.
I was hoping you just randomly appear in, like, Paris.
No, I was actually working on trying to grab a background that I was going to put in myself.
Oh, find a background of Bruges and just be in Bruges the whole time. Seriously.
I was actually going to go for something I wanted.
Oh, we don't care what you want. You got your liquor. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, hey, we're being raided. Awesome. I like raids.
Nice.
Raids are fun. I love raids. This is a very small raid, guys. Come on. Raid.
It's a raid of 1.
Hey, you gotta start small, damn it. Gotta start small. And so, speaking of starting small, we are gonna get right into it. Torchfork Tuesday is when we take the best and the worst, mostly the worst, that Steam Greenlight and elsewhere has to offer. We don't care about platforms, but damn it, it's gotta be bad. Or at least partially bad. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. And we're gonna get right into it with the first one. It is a VR game, so we can all make fun of Chris when he's not here. The first game is called Angels and Demigods VR. And so the notes I have here... Oh, Christ. It's another fucking visual novel. No, that's the notes, but that's also my opinion. Yes, it's another friggin' visual novel. Sadly... Fine. Let's just look at the trailer.
That's the entire review of the game concept.
I don't want to say what we just came out of in that first scene. I'm just saying.
Oh, I like it. Coming out of a... What is that? A metal word I shouldn't say on stream?
That's a placenta.
Oh.
Yeah. Coming out of the womb.
A metal one.
Yeah.
Lovely. This reminds me of... did anybody ever read Oh gosh, Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, where they
course.
actually make people in little pods.
Yes.
Yeah, and they make some stupid by, giving them fetal alcohol syndrome. That's what that looks like to me.
I feel like I need to have fetal alcohol syndrome to watch this. Demon Lord Malachi, thank you for being here, drunk. We appreciate that. Trust me, if the games are even half as quality as this one, oh, we're going to be drunk real soon. I hate this game. I don't even need to know more about it. It's a visual novel. It's VR. It's like taking the worst of Reese's Pieces and peanut butter cups and just smashing them together. This is crap to me. I'm sorry. There's no other nice way for me to put it.
What is the worst of Reese's Pieces and peanut butter cups?
This is Reese's Pieces. If it fell in the toilet, you fish it out of the toilet and then you chew on it. That's what this game is to me.
Fair.
I dislike visual novels. There are very, very rarely any good visual novels, in my opinion. So to make a visual novel a VR game, which really looks like nothing more. This looks like VR in the way that the 360-degree picture on Facebook is really VR to me. Also, Eli, where the hell are you now?
I just put myself on, I believe, Terra Prime.
Awesome. So, what are your thoughts about this game?
I was the one that put another fucking visual novel. I am sick of these small-time developers making visual novels, and I think it's fucking stupid to put it in VR because you're already just reading text. What is the VR gonna do for you?
Are these like fairies? I mean, are these all Navi? Like, I didn't need any more of her, and now I'm seeing her again.
So smash it.
Pretty much.
Look, I appreciate what they're trying to do. I really do, but no. I mean, this is basically just looking at wallpapers. This is like DeviantArt the game. I mean, I'm not seeing anything that needs VR for this. And if Chris were here, I like to think that he would somehow try to support this, but then he'd realize, no, this is dumb.
He really likes VR and he does want to support it, but it's a visual novel. You don't need VR to play this. Why is it VR?
Maybe it's VR to turn the page. You just wave your hand and the page turns.
It looks like it's VR to see some of the text. Like you have to look down, you look around and find the text.
What? Why?
That's what it looked like.
That sounds like the worst design ever. Don't do this.
Why do we even need this? We have VR porn already. This is not how you use anime and VR together, okay? Nope. I'm just going to leave it at that. I think we should move on. Do we have anything else to say about this at all?
Not particularly.
Okay. Awesome. So the next one on the list was a... No. The next one on the list is God of Word, which sounds a lot like a typing sim for God of War, but I don't think that's what it is. The notes here I have are a decent-looking typing game. Didn't expect that. And I know all too many people that have never learned to properly touch type and still look. This is basically just Stylo ranting about the lack of Mavis Beacon on Steam.
Yeah, he is pretty salty about that.
But I also agree, Mavis Beacon was wonderful. Anyway, so typing game.
I love typing games. Like, they're so addictive. They look lame at first, but then you start playing. And oh gosh, you can't stop. You can't stop the beat.
Really? A Hairspray reference?
Yes, this early at night, too.
Take a shot.
Wow.
Eli, what are your thoughts on...
Hang on, I'm taking a drink for how bad that was.
Thank you. Caitlin, elaborate while Eli is killing himself slowly.
No, really, like, doesn't anybody just enjoy the joy of typing something that you see, not even thinking about it, getting those fingers moving, click, 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 clickety click, and then it does stuff? These games are amazing. They're so good for time killers, and they're not even stuck, like, riddled with Facebook ads. They're perfect.
Speaking of perfect, Demon Lord Malachi, who is wasted, by the way, wasted Demon Lord, as I'm going to refer to him now, says, who here is hyped for Pokemon Sun and Moon?
Me.
She's gonna have an aneurysm right now just by hearing the phrase Pokemon. Yeah.
12 Days of Pokemon. It's coming, November. It's a series, and I'm gonna figure out a way to do it.
Day of Pokemon. My gym leader gave to me. I don't know, some little shit.
I hope not that goddamn water dog. Ugh.
I've been making up songs for all of the little Zelda Ocarina tunes. I've been making up words.
What was the worst one that you've done?
What was the worst one? Well, I sang them on stream. All you have to do is rewind. But,
I have the ability to do that while doing this. Tell me.
I just like the clip that I got of Caitlin reacting to that alert the first time she heard it.
Oh, the deer in headlights was wonderful. It's our first dollar we ever earned, and she's still like...
Just the look was like...
Wait, was it a real donation, or were you testing it?
No, it was
No,
Eli.
I actually put in the donation to make this pop up, so it was an actual donation.
Out of me.
It was great though.
Oh,
Like I didn't
God.
expect you to have that reaction to it.
You don't know.
That's okay. And again, Demon Lord, I totally still cannot pronounce... I can pronounce her name, but I can't spell it, so that's totally okay. I like shorten it to cat, because I don't have the time to figure out where the Y goes. But anyway, back to this damn thing.
Oh,
yeah. I can touch type. I don't care. I'll play Typing of the Dead before I'll play this. That's my opinion.
It reminds me of another game that I actually have in my Steam library, which I think is called like Words for Evil or something. I can't remember exactly. I gotta double check, but it looks like the same type of thing, but the one I got, it seemed like it had more humor behind it. This seems a little more serious.
You know, the only way I would really support it is if there was a Caligula DLC add-on pack. I would like to see that.
God. that one big scene that nobody wants to watch.
The best scene of the film, I'll have you know.
No.
Well, maybe...
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, we already had a Manos the Hands of Fate game, so why can't we have a Caligula game? We can have adult-rated games, damn it. I don't see the problem here.
I'm not worried about adult-rated games. I'm just like, I don't want to see all that.
It'll even come with its own condom, you know.
Well, I love how violent this is. It's a typing game,
You
but
needed more than a
other.
condom for that, Steven. You
Caitlin's
needed one of those. You needed one of those like full-length latex gloves for that.
Wow, we're getting kind of dark on the show already, and we've barely even gotten into the second one. So, Caitlin, please bring us back to some semblance of innocence.
Look at all the monsters. Look at everyone eating each other. This is like hentai in a typing game. Come on, guys. How could you not want to play this?
I don't...
I think you just answered your own question.
Is there a hentai typing game? Because I feel like we need to look into that.
That would be great. We should put it on this show. But with the censor blocks, because we don't want to violate Twitch TOS.
Hentai typing... I'm afraid of what I'm going to find. You're getting hot, live Google searching in action right now. And there isn't...
So hot.
It's called Hentyper, and I'm not going to tell you where to find it. Hentyper. Google at your own risk, guys. We're going to move on.
That sounds like you're in a chicken coop and you're typing to corral them and make them lay eggs.
I'm pretty sure that there are chickens. There might be chickens involved, but I don't want to know what is being done with those chickens.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, let's move on. So the next game isn't even on the list because somebody had to throw it in there at great expense and at the last minute. Eli, tell us about this game thing. I'm not even sure what I'm looking at. So from the what the fuck conversation we just had to the seriously Japan, what the fuck? The game is called Galgun Double Peace. Eli, why the fuck?
I don't know why. Although it at least seems to have a good sense of humor about itself, about making fun of the fact that it's intentionally fake Japan stuff. Like, it's so over the top, it's ridiculous, and in a way that's kind of awesome. at the same time, it's like, why? What the fuck?
So what exactly is the point of this game, Eli? You seemed to be the expert on this thing.
I don't know what the point is. I can only assume that it's supposed to be a dating sim like so many Japanese games, and it says that all these girls are after you, so I guess it must be a dating game of some kind. They have guns too.
Why?
They have sci-fi guns at that.
They're after you and they have guns. That does not sound good.
And then they have MP for you, which I would assume is magic points, so there must be magic spells as well.
And of course, we got
I don't
the
know.
classy upskirt shot, and of course the panty rating from the locker.
Ooh, and
You
the
know,
bench over the railing right there. Like, this is porn.
as you do. You know, this is totally how high school was for me. I don't know about your.
Me too.
It
This
is
what marching
apparently
band
like
is like.
this for. It is apparently like this for every male in Japan. Every male adolescent in Japan has every girl around them swarming all over them, trying to get their attention, and has magical powers.
Yeah.
Is it
Don't know why.
is it just that the magical power? Is it the magical powers come first, or is it just around the puberty need
I
for
think-
tentacle?
I think first they learn their Japanese.
Oh, okay.
Then they hit puberty, and shortly thereafter, the magical powers come into place, and girls swarm
Wow.
all over them.
So let me
This
get
is
this.
what my
straight.
college was like because it was 70% women.
Really? Seriously?
Yes.
Is that how? It
Yeah,
worked out?
that's how I ended up always having a boyfriend because like there were very few men, and the ones that I liked were nerdy, so it was easy to find.
There you go, folks.
GG.
So what you're telling me is that this is not only a documentary about Japan,
Yes.
but you're also telling me that this is the only dating sim that will actually work for you.
Yeah, this is Marymount University right here. Just ask Gary. GG. You got a girlfriend.
There you go, folks. That's the bullet point. That's the Steam review, the official Torchfork Mob Steam review. This game will probably, if you go to Marymount College, get you a girlfriend. There you go.
This is exactly
In all
what
fairness,
it's
just going to Marymount will probably get you a girlfriend.
like. Yep.
I'm sure that they really like to keep that on their admission statements, right?
No,
Oh,
they
yeah.
actually don't. They just casually. It's stuffed in the corner. 70% women. We have a 3 to 1 ratio.
Wow.
Yeah,
All
Awesome.
right then.
that's why my roommate chose to go there.
And you notice all the random poking in the trailer, like the girl will be bent over and you're poking different parts of her just for no apparent
Experience the
reason.
moe.
Is that just how they say? I don't want to sound like I'm insulting an entire country or a culture or anything like that, but is that really how it just works? You just walk up to somebody, you just poke them a couple of times?
I think it's kind of like how dogs sniff each other's butts.
Ooh.
You know,
Look,
like saying hello.
Eli, you've seen ABCs
That's
of Death.
not
Remember?
degrading at all.
Do you remember that? You've seen ABCs of Death, right?
I saw at least part of it.
Okay. I think it was. I don't think it was F. That was too obvious. But there was one of them that it's a horror anthology. They go through the entire alphabet and they pick a death or a theme for their short movie. It's like 26 short movies just compressed into one big long movie. There's no real cohesion between them all. But one of them was very much a live action hentai based around the love of a schoolgirl and her teacher, her female teacher, and the love of flatulence. To the point where the schoolgirl wanted to be so close to their teacher that they actually meshed together with their ass and lived happily inside the anal cavity. And I really think that this is not even close to as weird as it probably sounds, because Japan. What the fuck?
Yeah, Japan comes up with pretty much any weird thing that you can think of. And they're just like, yeah, you want to buy it?
I guess the hell so. But thank you for bringing this to our attention, Eli. May you never do this again.
Hey, I'm the one that has to go through the list of Steam games. This happened to show up. It was worth it.
Well, that is true. That is true. So the real question is, can we get someone to stream this? Is it even streamable?
I think we'd get banned if we streamed this. Because there's supposed to be actual nudity and stuff. I'm pretty sure we'd get banned.
Yeah, so let's...
What if we streamed it with a filter on top that made everything pixels? Like pixelated to the point where you can't see nips.
Like
So
just,
it would just be a reaction video.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it would basically just be everybody going "oh" the whole time. So that wouldn't be as fun. Although YouTube would eat it up. I'm gonna move away before we talk about eating and hentai girls and all that other stuff. Let's move.
I like eating with no.
Don't
Eating with
we
hentai girls.
all?
Wow. Okay.
This is the hentai girl mukbang.
Oh, gotta mention mukbang. Thank you very much. You're not eating anything though.
I could be.
Just don't spill it on the laptop. The next game is, oh boy, clone. The next game is Thumper. No, it has nothing to do with Disney, and no, it has nothing to do with hentai. It is an audio surf clone, so enjoy if you can. Best audio winner, best game winner, best game winner. Well, yeah, because you stole audio surf. They won, so of course you're gonna win. Sorry,
Yeah,
Eli.
honestly, I'm getting sick of games lately that are cloning audio surf. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's been the last couple months. There have just been audio surf clones coming out, and I'm like, what the fuck? Audio surf has been out for years now. Why is this now becoming a thing for indie devs? And not only that, but it's not as good as audio surf. It looks really slick, but it doesn't have as much for you to actually do to the beat of the song. Why does this exist?
Yeah, and that's the problem I have is it's all well and good if you're gonna do something, but god damn it, anyway, why are you doing the same stuff that somebody else has done well? We don't necessarily need a flashier version of audio surf, do we? I mean,
especially not since Audio Surf 2 can be modded now to make it look however you want.
yeah. I know, I will say that there was a really, really good audio surf clone, sorta, kinda, in a game called Symphony, which I really, really enjoyed, and still do to this day, where it would, use your own music and all, but still, audio surf already is a thing. Yeah. Anyway, so that being said, Caitlin, do you have any thoughts on this thing?
I never played audio surf. To me, the closest thing I've ever seen to this is what, like, I think my friend brought F-Zero over to my house, the GameCube version, and it kind of looks similar, but this isn't what that is. This isn't a racing game. It's just colorful. And it's making me dizzy, and I just had rum inside my coffee, so no.
Now, if there was ever a game that was screaming for VR, this is it. I will say that much. It is fancy.
Well, it says it's supposed to be going onto PlayStation VR.
Yay? Joy? That's another question I actually have. Right now, with all the hubbub about elections, no, I promise you guys, you won't hear anything about debates or elections here, because we have better things to talk about. But with the whole thing about Oculus and Palmer Luckey and the CEO coming out and backing Trump, only dropping of politics, I promise. Is there anything that Oculus can kind of do at this point to try and supplant the Vive? I mean, we've been talking about the Vive or the Vive for weeks now. And actually, they've become the VR darling at this point. Eli, from a hardware standpoint, is there anything that Oculus can do other than be cheap?
Realistically, probably not. Like, they'd have to come out with their own, motion tracked controllers, but all the Vive games that are already out that use the Vive controllers wouldn't support it. So they would have to try and get a whole extra API going to support their own controllers for that to work. And that would just be a pain in the ass for developers. So, I mean, they can try to keep up, but I don't think that they're going to take the lead at this point because there's just too much support for Vive now.
Fair enough. Caitlin, I know you don't really care much for VR, but do you have any thoughts on the idea of VR for this thing at least?
I think this would be cool in VR. The only problem I have with VR is exactly the problem that Chris says everybody has with VR. I can't afford it. I was just even deliberating today, am I going to buy the MX? I don't even own a TV to put it on. Like, I don't know. But like a VR console is like so much more expensive than a regular console, right? And so I haven't gotten to experience it. I don't even know what it looks like to put it on my head.
Mm.
Like, so I don't know how that feels. I can't weigh in on that in the way that you guys can.
Do you remember how dumb Chris looked when he was wearing the giant VR goggle headset?
He did
That's what
look
it looks
dumb.
like.
No, I meant like from inside. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have
Yeah,
that. Like, this
honestly,
would probably make you sick, I think.
this would make you sick because of everything moving past you so fast. VR is most comfortable in space games, honestly, where you're just piloting a ship, um, because everything is so far away that the motion isn't apparent to you. It feels much slower than it actually is. Um, Anything where you've got stuff flying close to you, every little bit of motion as the stuff is coming at you is going to throw your brain off because your brain is trying to process all that motion, but it's not getting input from your inner ear actually sensing motion. So then your brain is trying to compensate, and that's what makes you sick.
The other thing is like one of the things the VR things that has interested me the most is the one with the little 360-degree treadmill under you. Because that would be so like I am such an active person. I love getting up, moving. I ride my bike miles every day. I'm a waitress for God's sake. Like I need to be up and moving. And in VR that would be so cool. Like I want to play something like Sword Art Online, an immersive game where I'm like actually like moving.
Now, for games that have like complicated move sets and animations and stuff for a full body character,
Yeah.
that's a lot more difficult to implement because naturally you're going to want to try to use specific movements to make the moves happen. So they would have to design the game from the ground up.
Yeah.
To use the movements that you're doing.
That's my problem with VR. You see a lot of walking simulators, but you don't see actual virtual reality at all. It's you're not actually immersed the way that I would want to be immersed.
Also, why even play this when you can just trip LSD and you'll be fine?
Yeah.
You have the same reaction, I would think. I just have no interest in VR. I've never had an interest in VR. It doesn't even remotely appeal to me.
I think VR works really, really well for certain things. And like I said, if you're playing a space game, piloting a ship, it's amazing. Like, it's actually extremely awesome.
So Star Citizen would be amazing in VR.
Star Citizen while you're piloting a ship would be amazing. Elite Dangerous was friggin' amazing. When I played it on the DK2, I loved that. That was fucking great. The only thing that sucked was trying to figure out where the buttons were on my keyboard to make things happen. Like, I got a HOTAS set up, and I was using that for most of the stuff, but, just not enough buttons for everything. So then I'm having to, like, move my hands over my keyboard and figure out where my fingers are at and try to find the button or lift up the goggles to look,
Fair enough.
So that's a bit of a hassle, but otherwise it's just great in space games where you're flying a ship.
All right, well, then I stand corrected. Now, I will appreciate when we get to the point where VR has force feedback so that if you get shot, you die. I support that. I'm just saying, if you want to say that you're good, well, put your life on the line. Let's do some Running Man stuff. It'd be awesome. Anyway, so we're going to move on to the next one. The next one is probably going to be a mind trip of another sort because it's a Suda51 title. In fact, it's Suda51's very first game. If you don't know the name, well, then you suck. And he's probably made some of the biggest mind trips out there, game-wise. The game is called The Silver Case. It's on Steam. And so, enjoy.
Ooh.
And Suda51 was the guy that made a fancy little game called Killer is Dead.
I loved Killer is Dead. There was also, I can't remember it, it was another game, something Shadow where you had a talking gun. I can't remember what it was. I'll figure it out with some Google food. of Shadows of the Damned. That was it.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, you had a gun that was a dick. It was great. I always appreciate when my firearms call me an asshole for missing a shot. I really do.
Indeed.
But anyway, so yes, this is the mind trip that is Suda51 Games. If you don't know his stuff, this is probably the most tame he's ever been. So yeah, play with drugs. No, I mean play while on drugs. Don't actually. We here at Torchfork Mob do not condone illegal and illicit drug use. But if you're gonna do it, play this game while you're doing it. It is what it is. I mean, what more can you say? Eli, you have any kind of experience with Suda51 games?
Nope, I don't. I just know who he is, and I know that his games are really fucking weird.
That's fair. Caitlin?
I think the art style looks absolutely gorgeous, but I'm not understanding what the actual gameplay is supposed to be. What is this supposed to be?
I think this one is kind of like a point-and-click adventure type of thing.
It kind of looks like, oh gosh, it looks like almost like chat-based, like a lot of the creepypasta that like circulates around YouTube where you have to go really deep to find stuff, but like in a game. Is that what it is?
It is more along the lines of, if I can just drag some info out for a little bit. If I remember correctly, and I'm actually going to link the Steam page because there's a demo. Someone's dying outside, and it's great. It's more along the lines of Snatcher, which was a point-and-click detective game. It's kind of in the vein of Shadowgates, kind of in the vein of Rise of the Dragon, a Blade Hunter mystery. So it's basically detective-ish type of story. You have to figure things out from clues. There's a link that I just posted right down there, if the bots aren't being nasty to me today.
So kind of like The Wolf Among Us. Like you're a detective and you're trying to figure something out, but it is a point and click, but it has its own plot.
Yeah, I mean one of the screenshots actually has the text of this scene here. Burn it into your eyeballs.
Do you remember how many point and clicks I reviewed for The Place That Shall Not Be Named? Like, I picked up like every single one.
You did a lot of them, come to think of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But those were crappy ones. This is
No, I liked those. They were puzzle games. This is something I've never tried before, in fact.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Any other thoughts before we move on? I know it's not the most sexy thing that you'll ever see on a stream, but you know, like I said, if you haven't lit up at this point, or if you haven't dropped something, you might want to start. We're gonna move on. Again, we do not condone any illicit activity unless we're doing it. So there. The next game is Osiris New Dawn. And I find it really funny about how all of these games have a subtitle. Or almost all of the games that are coming out nowadays that are apparently a big deal all have a subtitle.
I thought subtitles back in the day were supposed to denote like a sequel or a subset or something. They don't anymore?
Not really. At this point, I mean, we've got... oh god, how many games have we looked at in the last couple of years that have had a subtitle? Eli, you're better at memory than I am.
There's been a lot. I haven't counted. Haven't even tried.
Okay.
That's all I got for you.
The one game that I have in my giveaway library, because it's my favorite platformer that I played for The Place That Shall Not Be Named, so I picked it up. It's called Albert and Otto, the beginning or something like that. It has this like... the adventure begins. It has a freaking subtitle or subline of the title.
Yeah.
But freaking like doesn't have a sequel and is not going to have a sequel. I hate it when games imply that they're going to have a sequel.
How do you know it's not going to have a sequel?
Because they haven't made like any kind of move. I've been checking on this Steam page for like a year since I played it. I played it a year ago. And they've never even mentioned it. They've never made anything else. They're not going to make a sequel. And I'm pretty bummed about it. My favorite two games that I reviewed for the internet were the first two that I ever played for the internet. And they were so good.
Did you really review it for the internet? Are you sure?
I reviewed it for the internet. We're not going to talk about it.
Okay, that's fine. The game I was trying to think of and couldn't was Beyond the punctuation, Two Souls. So it just because I could think of the Two Souls, but I couldn't remember. So maybe that's why they do it. That way you get part of the title in your head, and you can't remember it, but then you search it and you're like, hey, that looks pretty good. But
Mm-hmm.
no, that's not the reason they should do it, and please stop doing it. But yeah, I have to agree. A game, why do you need a subtitle? If it's that great or that important, why can't it just be part of the title? So
Yeah.
Osiris, it's a thing. It's a thing in space. It's a survival game in space. Holy shit, have we not seen enough of these by now? How many more survival games are we going to see, guys?
More. We need more.
Do we?
We need one every day.
Do we?
And why is it that the trailer for every survival game is just freaking like a trailer, like a travel ad? Like, it's just a scan over a landscape. Every single time. We've seen so many, it's not, like, I'm not even kidding.
Come
This is a
visit
travel
picturesque
ad.
Mars.
Yes.
Why? No, I totally agree. Do we need to have more of these, though? Yeah, I feel like I don't want to go on this trip. I feel like this is a side mission to Pitch Black, the Vin Diesel movie.
Mm-hmm.
Pitch Black was at least a fun movie to watch.
This is true. But that last shot where it just cuts out when it's just dark, and it just felt like that was a Pitch Black moment. Or maybe I just want to watch a Vin Diesel movie. I don't know. But
Or maybe you just want to watch Pitch Black because that was the better of the Riddick movies.
that was the only good Riddick movie.
Yeah.
Trying to. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Yeah. What more can you say? I mean, I love the goodness that comes out of Steam Greenlight. I really do. But my God, it's just getting to the point where if one person has already done it, I promise you, developers, you're not going to have the magic bullet. You're not going to have the thing, if you add one more thing to the game that already exists, you're not going to make it a better game. Stop. Not that any developers watch this show, but if you are, stop. Please. Stop. Stop. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next one. It is called Ride 2, which is funny because I haven't even played the first Ride.
What was the first ride?
Ride.
You just ride places?
It's just called Ride.
Can it be a snowboarding game, please? I want one more.
It's
like
not a
10 more.
snowboarding game.
It's a bike game.
Like, seriously, the day we get a snowboarding game in our queue, I'm going to lose my shit.
So if we do
Cat.
SSX the third,
We've got
have snow, but we've never played it because, like,
We just need to pick a time to play it as a team. That's it.
what is it?
I love snowboarding in games and in real life. You don't even. Oh, it's a motorcycle game. Oh, I'm happy with this.
A watercycle? Where do you see watercycles?
No motorcycle.
Oh. I'm pretty sure you said watercycle, but okay. Yeah, it's a motorcycle racing game because Ride was a motorcycle racing game.
I wouldn't know, but this looks cool.
Neither did I, but
This would be cool in VR. Like, you have to lean to, like, make yourself turn. Come on.
I wouldn't want to do that playing a game.
I would. I'd want to lean, and it would be best
I'd
if
fall
you're drunk,
over.
too.
No.
Oh,
I can't ride a bike. I'm not gonna do a motorcycle.
my favorite
I would
thing about
also
the
just like to point out the line that Caracus Maximus threw in from the Riddick movies, where he's like, "No, I'm gonna kill you with my teacup."
And it wasn't even a teacup, it was a can, wasn't it?
It was like a camping cup kind of thing,
Yeah.
but still, teacup death. Gotta love it.
That's true. But you know, I do have to admit, Caitlin, I don't know why you're not just streaming more Snow Horse, because that was amazing.
Because there wasn't enough content.
But Bjorn
It was
right
basically
again.
just the same thing again and again and again.
But it was great because as she went through, it was getting worse and worse and worse.
Oh, it was. It was so glitchy, too. It was, like, getting glitchier and glitchier to the point where, like, I could not figure out where the glitches were and where they weren't. But because you could only go in a straight line, like, I wanted to, like, do some slalom as my horse, like, you know, but no. The
I'm
horse
telling
would
you,
not slalom.
I wanted to play snow too. Let's just set up a time for it. We can
Okay.
go snowboarding.
Wait, Demon Lord Malachi, I am not a Sonic fan. I watched the cartoon when I was like maybe 3 or 4 and haven't touched it since. I don't know.
I think we should probably have her play Sonic 06.
Oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should have her play the original Sonic the Hedgehog games.
Oh, that would no. Sonic Spinball would be great. Actually,
Well, you know-
you guys,
No, the originals were hard.
so was Sonic Spinball. I mean, she'd be screaming at the screen. That's what
I
I'm.
really need not worry about what happens after the Zelda series is over then, huh?
No, not at all. Hey, you guys in the chat, I'm sure a lot of you have played some Sonic games in the past. So
Sonic.
whatever you think would probably be the most hilarious for Caitlin to play, please, seriously, throw some titles down there, damn it. Wait, why not? '06 was great if you get really, really drunk and put duct tape on your face and if you set yourself on fire. Sonic
Is there one
06
for
was
a
fun.
handheld? Is there one for like DS or 3DS that's any good at all?
I believe
Like any
that at this
remakes
point,
or re-releases?
I believe at this point you can buy the old
I
Game
like-
Gear games.
I like Demon Lord Malachi's response. Do not do 06 to her.
06 is fine, damn it. Oh, you know what? We can have somebody do it for our Saturn Saturdays, which is what Rob Kelly, the bastard that decided not to show up and stiffed us and decided
Yeah.
not to show up tonight.
There are people who love Sonic way more than me, Demon Lord. Really. Like, you want to watch them do it.
There are, but to answer your question, Caitlin, there are some in the eShop. There are some Sonic games. There's the Game Gear games. I don't think you're gonna find the
Oh.
official ones, but the Game Gear game was amazing, or at least I thought it was. But yeah, we'll just have to find. Oh, you know what? We can have somebody with a GameCube play the Sonic Collection because I know that's on
Ooh.
Game.
No, I have the Sonic games on Steam.
Hey, that's the other thing is they're pretty cheap on Steam. So Caitlin, you could probably do that too.
Oh, I didn't realize they were Steam games. I
Yeah.
probably could.
Because
I probably could.
Sega's basically like the Taiwanese crack whore at this point. I mean, anybody can
Right.
have it at this point.
Right, I can stream that. Okay, well, maybe, guys. It's a possibility that the world is endless. I could stream anything for marathons on Tuesdays.
I've got the Green Hill Zone music running in my head now. Thank you.
But this motorcycle
Casino
game,
Hill's
guys, let's
better.
talk about this. It looks beautiful,
Casino Nights
but
is
Casino Nights,
better,
yeah.
but still, just Green Hill Zone was what came to mind.
Yeah, I know we're supposed to talk about the racing game, but good lord, it's fucking asphalt and sport bikes. Come on.
it looks
What more could you
fun.
say?
I want to play it.
Well, okay, fine, but Sonic is way more fun.
Sonic.
It's
No,
faster.
but
You gotta
it's
go
like,
faster.
look. They're leaning and they're moving, and like it's a racing game. Oh my gosh, I've been playing nothing but Mario Kart. I'm influenced by the Mario Kart.
You know
guys.
what? You know what else is like a racing game? Sonic.
Sonic.
It
There's
does really fast.
I'm not gonna
there's
play your Sonic.
okay. There's Sonic and All Stars Racing, which,
Yeah,
by the way, is actually a pretty good Mario Kart clone,
and on Steam as well.
and it has Sonic.
Is it multiplayer on Steam? Like, do we get
Yes.
compatible?
Yes, indeed. In fact, just to show you how much Sega doesn't care anymore, so Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Generations Collection, Sonic All-Stars Racing, Sonic CD, my personal favorite, Sonic DX, Sonic 3, Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 2, all the Sonic games are on Steam, even some fake ones. So,
Sonic and Knuckles is there too.
yeah.
All right,
So
all
you have
right.
no excuse
Maybe.
not to play it.
If
So,
you can get me in with my racing game gateway drug, you could probably do that.
there we go. Sonic Riders. Perfect. So you guys in the chat, totally, if you have ideas on Sonic games, please let us know which one you want us to subject Caitlin to next. We're going to move on to the next game. Oh, God in heaven, I need to take a drink on this one. Duke Nukem has not had a good lifespan.
Oh,
Let's be honest. He has not had a good go.
It was awesome with Duke Nukem 3D.
I am, yeah.
That's about it.
I was one of those people that was looking forward to Duke Nukem forever. And then Gearbox got it, and fuck Randy Pitchford, and fuck the horse he rode in on, and fuck him with the horse that he rode in on. But I digress.
I'm
So-
just gonna say fuck George Broussard. It's all his fault.
It really is. 3D Realms never should have let this go, but they did.
No, they should have fucking finished what they were working on instead of spending 20 fucking years.
But they couldn't. That's the problem
They
because
could have if he would have stopped getting a stick up his ass and trying to add more shit in.
you don't understand, man. That's pretty much his excuse. You don't understand. We had to fix. No, you didn't. You could have just released what you had. We would have had a good
No,
Duke
like,
Nukem forever. Oh yeah.
The problem was that he kept changing what he wanted.
I know. And yes, there is so much hate because That's what we do here on Torchfork Tuesdays. We hate, but we love this game.
To hate.
We do love to hate, but we love.
I love Duke Nukem 3D, but
Yes.
but to me the biggest middle finger for this one is the fact that it's basically the same game that came out in the fucking 90s, and it's got a small set of new levels to it, and it's $20 fucking.
So that is the unfortunate part. Yeah, when it comes down to this is basically suffering from Turok syndrome. It's suffering from the fact that it is a retro game based upon retro. It's got some new stuff in it, a little bit of new stuff in it. Yes, it's got all the original stuff, as the trailer is saying. It's got some fancy schmancy new stuff that modders have been doing for ages.
By
and
the way,
it's re-released as a $20 product. Fuck
the
that.
high-res version of the game that fans made has better graphics.
Indeed. That is another thing. This is one of those things, and I'm going to go a little political for a second, but not on politics. This is one of those things where it is totally taking the nostalgia trip that we have when we see these games, and you can even tell in the trailer that's what it's kind of banking on. It's all about, hey, you remember when Duke was good? Remember when Duke Nukem Forever didn't come out? Well, guess the fuck what? We've got Duke. We've got the original Duke. Everything that you remember, fancy schmancy stuff. And we're going to sell it to you again, because you already probably own Duke Nukem 3D if you're using a Steam account in any way, shape, or form. You probably already got it. We're going to sell it to you again. Why?
For full price with a few new levels.
Yeah, and I will say, yes, ego much. I agree. I have plenty of ego. See, this is the thing I like to say is I have plenty of self-esteem. I just have no esteem for others. Least of all, publishers at this point. Because they look at us legitimately as walking wallets. Seriously. They look at us and we are nothing more than just a way, we are a means to an end. And while I do respect a company that does that, you have to give something slightly more than a repolished, repackaged DOS-box driven clone. And that's all we're seeing. And you damn right I'm old, because I remember when this came out on floppies, not floppy floppies, but freaking plastic floppies.
She just called you a granny.
I am not a granny because I don't have a moo-moo, although the thought occurs.
I want a moo.
Do you want a
Moo-moos
moo-moo?
are comfy as hell. Everyone should wear them.
Well, maybe for the next stream we'll all be wearing moo-moos. But anyway, getting back to
With
the
cow
point.
prints, so that they're literal moo-moos.
Yeah, so getting back to the point, the thing that really gets under my skin, though, is I have nothing but pure, unmitigated hatred for Gearbox software at this point. I was pissed off by the Aliens Colonial Marines thing. I was pissed off because they are taking their sweet time in making Borderlands 3.
Oh, that's why they're
everything.
annoying me. I need Borderlands 3, and it's not here. Or at least Borderlands World, the MMO that they mentioned, or something like that. Anything.
Okay, now
I would
that's
be happy
gonna be
with
a
anything.
long
That's
time
going to be a
coming.
long time coming. The fact that they went ahead and instead of giving us Borderlands 3 like a lot of us have been asking for, they decided to do this side shit with Telltale Games. Come on, guys. Seriously.
I need it.
No,
I
no,
need
okay.
the Borderlands sequel.
The Telltale thing, it didn't involve any of the same voice actors or anything. It didn't
But
involve
it's
the
still
same maps.
But it's
like
still their attempt to flesh out Borderlands. You know how you can flesh out
that's
Borderlands?
just
You
them
can do it by a new
license.
game.
No.
Yes.
They
Tales
just gave
from
them the license. You're right.
It's just
you're right.
licensing. Telltale
that's the
did all the work on that.
But that's the problem, is the fact that we shouldn't have a Borderlands game unless there's a Borderlands 3. There's no reason for this side mission shit. I don't need to know more about Handsome Jack. I shot him in the face.
Oh, I really did. I
That's
mean,
how No.
I like what Telltale did, but I really, really, really need that sequel. I feel the urge.
Okay. And that's totally
So
understandable.
into this, but look,
You're right.
I would say as far as
And
Tales
I
from the
do want an
Borderlands,
Spyro
don't
game,
blame
damn it.
Gearbox for Tales from the Borderlands. All they did was license it out. Every game company does that if people want it, because it's money that they don't have to do anything for.
Gearbox doesn't need money. They need better games. I mean, look at what they did with Aliens Colonial Marines. Come on. There's no reason to respect them at this point.
You don't have to go that far back. You could look at Battleborn.
I don't even want to talk about that.
I liked Battleborn. I just didn't think that it was meant to be an online multiplayer game. It was meant to be co-op like Borderlands because that's what Gearbox does well.
And
I said so in my review.
Yeah, and I do want another Spyro. I just don't want Elijah Wood in Spyro.
Hey, he wasn't that bad. Because
Elijah Wood is
was
bad in
Cinder,
everything.
okay?
No,
He's
no,
not.
no.
He is.
I want to return, and yes, a lot of the focus of what we do at Torchfork is retro. I will totally admit that. And we've got Retro Haven that happens damn near every day. We got Caitlin playing all the Zelda games that she's never played before because she's a youngin'. We've got all the references that we do on these shows to retro games, and then we get a retro game, and I can't help but get a little bit pissed off when I see how much of the nostalgia is actually used against us. And what really pisses me off is when we buy into it. You know, we're always talking about vote with your wallet. Well, if people are consistently paying for this crap, that kind of ruins the whole argument at that point. I do want another Spyro, but I don't need a Spyro with microtransactions. I do want another Deus Ex, but I don't want microtransactions in my goddamn first-person game at all. Square. I don't want all this extra crap. I just want the damn experience. I want the game that I loved way back when. I don't want another Nosgoth multiplayer. I want more Raziel. I want more Kane. I want more of the fun and less of the online experience and the value and all that other crap. I just want games that are fun. Can we get back to that? I like to think that this, at the very least, might be a cheap cash-in, but this is the fun that we were born with. It doesn't really hold up nowadays, but there's still a lot of fun to be had. I gotta
say, Duke Nukem 3D is one of those older games that if you get into it and you overlook the fact that it's 2D sprites in a 3D world, it can still hold up.
Yeah.
It honestly, it holds up better than a lot of other games that came out at the same time because it has fucking personality to it. That was what was missing from most of those old games.
And let's be honest, nowadays, this would not have gotten made. There's no way in hell. I mean, I can...
Green light. It would have gotten made.
It would have gotten made, but it would have gotten ripped to shreds. I mean, I can already feel Tumblr posts being made about this game. Guaranteed.
This would have been successful today as a green light game.
Yeah, Polygon is already writing up a dissertation about why this is going to end humanity as we know it, but they'll play it and probably get killed on the first pig cop, so who knows? No, I'm not bitter at all. But it really does bother me when I see games that came out 10 or 15 years ago that have more content than newer games. Hi, Battlefront, how you doing? But we're not going to get into that here, because we're going to get on to the very last game. Oh boy, it's a sequel. It's actually a sequel I've been looking into. And I was actually tempted to reinstall one of the earlier games in this series today. I don't know why, but I was tempted. And then this came up. So Mafia 3, also known as Godfather, the game, the good one. Because the Godfather, the game, was not that good. So, Mafia. I do like the fact, hipster moment coming, I do like the fact that the collector's edition comes with a vinyl record of the soundtrack. Just saying. Anyway, discuss. It's the gorgeous AAA game, it's made by 2K, it's Mafia. Mafia is basically GTA without all the GTA-ness.
Is it worth playing? Like, I've never played any of them, so I've always considered it, but it's never really been my scene, the GTA scene, you know?
I would say it would be worth playing if you're into really gritty crime games.
Yeah, this is like, I don't want to say Max Payne, because that's not even remotely accurate. I want to say that this is a little bit of Max Payne set in the 50s and 60s, if I can be correct. It's a organized crime drama that takes itself seriously. That's the nicest way to put it.
Well, it could be good, you know? Is it A sequel. It's a sequel, obviously.
Totally a sequel. It's the
But
third one in the Mafia
is it the
series.
kind that we want?
That's
We
In the
often
what
want
sense?
sequels.
well, it depends on what you define as want. Mafia 2 was well received, but not. It was kind of like a 50-50 shot. A lot of people liked it. Some people disliked it. I think it was a pre-order thing that pissed everybody off. I'll have to look into it while the rest of you talk. But yeah, it's never really appealed to me because GTA overshone it. Driver even overshone it. GTA overshone it. Or excuse me, Saints Row overshone it. So it's kind of hard to tell. Eli?
Like I said, I think it's the type of thing that if you can get into a like gritty crime game, then you would enjoy it. It's similar to GTA in the sense of it's like an open-ended play kind of thing,
Yeah.
where you do what you want to do. But GTA has a fair amount of silly stuff for you to mess around with, and then of course, like Saints Row is all about silly stuff. But Mafia, on the other hand, is not about silly stuff. Like everything you're doing is serious. So it's basically just on that scale of open crime games. Do you like super silly, kind of silly, or super serious?
Mafia, the Mafia series is kind of like GTA if it took itself seriously. It's kind of like GTA. I want to say GTA 4 because GTA 4 took itself super seriously. There were some funny points. Mafia, you're really not going to find much funny here. It's not as visceral. Correct me if I'm wrong, Eli. It's not as visceral as say Sleeping Dogs was, because that really didn't pull.
I still need to actually play Sleeping Dogs.
This is another vat of games that I've never experienced and kind of should, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me.
We
When
should
I'm
have her
thinking about
start
it.
out with GTA 1 though, so she can see how
Oh.
that shit started.
Wait, who's controlling Torchfork Mob right now? If Sleeping Dog is awesome, it wasn't you, Eli.
It wasn't me.
Okay.
Is it
Stylo.
Alucard or Chris?
Oh,
or Stylo?
Stylo.
No, because if Chris
Oh.
couldn't bother to bring himself on stream, he shouldn't be controlling the overall everything. But yeah, Sleeping Dogs is whole.
But yeah, Stylo, obviously in Saints Row, it's not a serious game.
The first
but
game took itself seriously.
still,
First game.
well, yeah, sort of, but at the same time, the characters were dressed like pimps in purple suits, so it was kind of silly still.
You're thinking Saints Row 2 and 3 and 4.
No,
2 is
no,
when it
the
started
original Saints Row.
Oh,
I played
yeah.
it when it came out
Right.
on Xbox 360, and there were people in purple pimp suits.
Yeah, you could
all
tell.
over the place.
You could tell that they were kind of going that direction eventually, but nobody
Yeah.
could have told they were gonna go off the. They jumped on the crazy train and immediately jumped off the track.
Yeah,
Or-
but that's what I was saying though,
Yeah.
Silo. It's the same type of game as GTA, but it's super silly. Whereas GTA is silly and serious, and then Mafia is just serious.
Yeah, Mafia. I really hate to say it again because I adore the Godfather movies. Well, the first and second. We're not gonna talk about the third. And I liked the Godfather game, but there were a lot of technical issues that prevented me from really liking it when it came out on PS2. Because I'm old. But Mafia was basically, if they ever got a hold of the Puzo novel and got the actual rights to the game, I feel like they probably could have done it very, very well. Because the mechanics to me were good, just not in Mafia 2. Or, excuse me, not in the original Mafia, because the original Mafia was kind of boring. If I were to compare it to anything, maybe L.A. Noire? Mafia 2 was like L.A. Noire. Just
Well, what day
instead of
does it
being-
come out? Let's talk about
It
this.
comes out on the 7th of October, I believe. If I look at my little cheat sheet, yep, October 7th. A lot of these games actually come out on the 7th. There's something about the 7th. So, Ride 2...
Is it a
comes out-
Tuesday?
is the 7th a Tuesday? I can't look that far in the
I
future.
think it's
It's a Friday.
actually Friday.
Yeah. So for the record, Mafia 3 comes out on the 7th. Ride 2 comes out on the 7th. Silver Case comes out on the 7th. Angels and Demigods, God of Word, coming out on September 28th. Thumper comes out on October 13th. Osiris, The New Dawn comes out on the 28th. Lots of stuff happening. So, yeah, if you want a fake audio surf and you want a passable typing simulator and a passable VR game, we got you covered, guys. But other than that, all the rest of the good stuff comes out on the 7th and the 13th. And yeah, I think that's where we are. And apparently Hyper Light Drifter, because Steam has to poke me and prod me all the time, Hyper Light Drifter is apparently on sale right now for $13.39. I'm literally just opening up all my platforms and checking crap. So this is what I do for you people.
Maybe you should be adding that stuff into the games list.
I should, but I probably won't, because that's our show for tonight. We've gone through the entire list. I think that's pretty much all we have to say about that. Do we have any final thoughts before we get the hell off here?
I don't think so.
No? Nobody?
I am gonna say for everybody watching, if you happen to like the stuff that we do, I would say that while obviously you don't have to, we would definitely appreciate it if anybody wants to donate to what we do to help support what we're building up here. We're still very early days, but there's a lot of stuff that we want to upgrade and work on. We want to get a lot more stuff going. And it'll be a lot easier when we get at the point where this stuff makes us self-sufficient.
Maybe.
Being able to cover the costs. It's a long road ahead, but if anybody wants to help out, you can use the donate link that if I could type
if
right.
you can type it right. So yes, he's going to beg you for money.
It's not begging for money. It's saying if you want to support what we do and where we're going with stuff, we would definitely appreciate it. Obviously, only do it if you're able to, if you feel comfortable in, your situation right now. But it would be awesome.
Yeah, you gotta donate all of your stuff. We're gonna be like a religion. We want you to tithe 10% of your earnings every year to us. Yeah.
No. Steve, you're going way too conservative on that. We get the money, and then with whatever we have available, we try to supply the necessities.
Well, there is that. I wish Heather were here because then she could really tell us how to do it. But Demon Lord, no. Eli.
Are you saying that Heather could explain to us how religious cults work?
Indeed, I am. Eli is actually not drunk. We've never actually seen Eli drunk. We've seen him.
Yeah, they have never seen me get even like halfway drunk.
See, the thing about that's not exactly true, Eli. I remember on a stream that you actually admitted that you were really, really close, but you were never really
okay, there might have been one or two times.
Yeah. I remember there was a knockdown, drag-out verbal fight between you and Kellogg, and that was glorious.
What was it about?
I forget. I think it wasn't about VR, because I don't think you're that passionate about VR.
I like VR.
Well, yeah, you like VR, but you're not... No, this was like knockdown, drag out, punch fight type of stuff. No, I don't think he's... Well, Demon Lord, you're pagan. A lot of us on stream are pagan, so, it is what it is. You do your thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. See? You're in good hands, so give us your money. No, that's not how that works. Give us a goat. A little bit of blood, and we'll see what we can do. But no, that's the show for tonight. If you liked us, God, give us a like on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Do we do Instagram? Yeah, we do. Follow us on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Slave2Machine, because you'll see a lot of wonderful things. Some of it not all strictly legal, but there's that. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Favorite us on Twitch. We do all of our stuff here. Like, all the kick-ass stuff is here.
Follow.
Favorite, follow, tomato. I'm gonna call it a like because it's a heart, damn it. But if you need to see our full-on calendar, we're always updating it, sort of, kinda. always on torchforkmob.com. That's torchfork, like thing you eat with, mob.com. Go there now. Check out all the streams that we got scheduled. Check it out. See more about us. At some point, we're gonna have writing stuff going on, but it is what it is. But that's the show for tonight. Any final thoughts? Any of you people? We're gonna get the hell off of here, and somebody's gonna take over. Anything? Nothing? No last minute stuff? You don't want to pitch your Zelda thing, Caitlin? You really
Oh yes,
pitch
I
your
do.
Zelda?
Okay, I'm gonna be back Monday and Tuesday to finish that water temple and possibly move on to beating the game. I think that next week I might be able to finish it. I'm not sure how far I am, but I think I'm definitely over
I was
halfway.
gonna say, you're doing the water temple. You think you're gonna finish it by next week?
Next week or the week after?
I mean,
It's soon.
you totally
it's
could.
soon. It's soon. It's happening.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Eli, do you have anything that you want to say? Yeah, you usually stream at ridiculous hours, usually at like 2 a.m. type of streams. Are you doing anything tonight?
I've been doing a little show that I'm calling After Dark for right now.
Okay.
It's not going onto YouTube yet because it's an experimental thing. I don't know if it's going to be worth the effort just yet. But I'm playing moodier, quiet games at night. And then, of course, I do the game show on Thursdays.
That's right.
What else do I do as far as shows? I spend so much time working on stuff for people's streams. Shit, I mostly tag along for other shows. Those two are my main ones right now.
Way to pitch it, man. But that is
I
the
know,
show.
right?
But that is the show for tonight. Check us out. Like I said, Torchfork Mob. You see all the other buttons. I know you're not stupid, so you can figure the rest of this out. From all of us at Torchfork Mob to all of you out there, thanks for joining us. Have a good night. Go drink. Be merry. Do terrible, wonderful things. Good night, everybody. Stylo, get us the hell out of here.
Night.